Hey guys, welcome back. This week we're going to be talking about wetlands, why they're important, what type of animals live there, and what we can do to take care of them. So wetlands can look like a number of different areas. One may be a river or a stream like this. Or a wetland may look like more of a marsh like this area here. One thing that I think is really cool about wetlands is that they can cater to almost any type of animal, whether they be aquatic and they live in the water, or they could be animals that live on land, or they can be amphibians which live in water and on land and are able to survive in both. So that is something that I find very interesting about wetlands and how they can cater to different types of animals no matter what they are. The next thing that we will cover is what types of animals will live in a wetland area. So the aquatic types of animals that you may see in a wetland are turtles, frogs, salamanders. They like a cool, wet climate, but then you're also going to be able to find things like fish or crawdads in the stream, more in the stream type areas that are included in wetlands. Other than that, you will find some land animals as well in those wetlands. Typically, you're going to see things like muskrats that like to go in the water as well as be on land. You're also going to find things like raccoons or skunks because they will include fish and different things like frogs and crawdads into their diets, as well as like berries and other things they might find in the wild. One other animal that you may find in a wetland that is not as common but is starting to come back into our areas and to be seen again is a bobcat. So a bobcat is going to be bigger than, say, your house cat that you normally would keep in your house, but it is in the same family as your house cat, just larger and probably not as nice as the cat that you have in your house. The next type of animal that we're going to talk about, you're going to find up in the sky. So those are going to be animals like an eagle or different types of cranes, osprey. Those are all animals or birds that will eat fish or aquatic animals. So you may find those occasionally in a wetland area, or you might find beautiful birds like swans just kind of floating, or ducks. I love ducks. I think they're so cute, and I enjoy watching them just float around on the water. So those are some different types of birds that you may find in a wetland area. Let's talk about why wetlands are important. The biggest reason is that they're a huge number of animals that rely on this habitat to survive. So when people try and take wetlands away, or they don't take care of the wetlands, it can be harmful for those animals, and those animals may not reproduce as well. They might not have the food they need to survive. They might not have shelter. So that's one of the biggest reasons why wetlands are important. We need to keep in mind that taking away this habitat for those animals could cause the animal to dwindle down, their species to dwindle down and not have as many of those animals left, or even to make the species go extinct. So when I say species, I'm talking about different types of animals. So one species may be turtles, another species could be frogs, another species could be salamanders. So we don't want these different species to go extinct. We want to keep a wide variety of those things in the habitat, in the ecosystem. The ecosystem is the area that the habitat is located in, and the habitat is the home for the animals. So we want to keep the wide variety of these different types of animals because they all rely on each other to survive. So we need to keep that in mind. We need to remember to take care of this habitat. So that means things like No littering. If you're walking down the road or going hiking and you see a piece of trash, try and pick it up and clean up after others, even if they don't clean up after yourself, because we need to make sure that we're not polluting or making the water in these different areas not good for the animals. So if the water is not healthy for the animals, it could cause them to get sick by people throwing trash in there. Depending on what the trash is, it could cause animals to get sick or get wrapped up in the trash, and it can hurt the animals or even cause them to, suffer. So we need to make sure that we are taking care of the environment in order to take care of the animals in that ecosystem. So that is all for this week's lesson. Make sure to tune in for our next lesson, and thank you guys for joining us. See ya.